Hi everyone, this is Migs from Sneaks and Ball PH, and today we have a quick look and unboxing on the Nike Zoom Freak 2 Naija. The Nike Zoom Freak 2 is Giannis Antetokounmpo's second signature shoe, and in my opinion, Nike has just such a special and all-time player on their hands because he did after all win MVP last season and he led the Milwaukee Bucks to the best record in the NBA. Then if that wasn't enough, he seems like he's only getting better with stats this year that are better than his previous season, and once again he's on pace to lead the Milwaukee Bucks to the best record in the NBA. He is also right now the favorite to win NBA MVP in some people's eyes, and with others it's pretty much neck and neck with him and LeBron James. And then with this Zoom Freak 2, it was actually unveiled during the NBA's restart in the Orlando bubble, and in my opinion it was kind of awkward for Nike and Giannis to release his shoe during the pandemic, but on a positive note, it does give us something to look forward to when the courts open back up, and it also gives us something to take our minds off of what's currently happening in the world. The Zoom Freak 2 of course follows the very popular Zoom Freak 1s that I personally reviewed in my other channel, and you know, I really didn't like it that much, so hopefully when I play in the Zoom Freak 2s, it's a major improvement from the Zoom Freak 1, but we'll just have to wait and see. Then with that out of the way, let's get into the unboxing. So the box on the Zoom Freak 2 is actually pretty similar to the box on the Zoom Freak 1s. The only difference is that this box is black and the Zoom Freak 1's box was white. So you still have Giannis Antetokounmpo's logo here at the top, and then you also have the same logo all throughout, but in this sort of Greek pattern. Then here on the side, you have Giannis's signature. Then on the other side, you have your sizing and colorway information. Then here at the front of the box, you have this gold Nike swoosh. And then you have Giannis's last name here at the back. So in case any of you forgot how to spell Antetokounmpo, this is how you do it. Then now, time to take a peek at the Freak 2s. So you have your standard style lid. And under the lid, you actually have this cool detail. So you have the number 34 here in gold. And the way they did this 34 is in a way that it mimics the Greek flag, because after all, Giannis is Greek. Then you also have a little bit of paper, and it's pretty much just the plain, simple kind. And ooh, that's pretty interesting to say the least. So here you have it. This is the Nike Zoom Freak 2 Naija. Then just a few quick tech specs on the Zoom Freak 2. Here on the outsole, you have this sort of radial traction pattern here on the forefoot. They aren't really radial lines, but instead it's sort of these nubs that are in this radial pattern. And the rubber is nice and thick. Then here at the heel, the traction pattern is this sort of graffiti looking one. And I'm not really sure how this will work on court, but again, the rubber is nice and thick, so this should be pretty durable. I did try these out a little bit on my wood floors here at home, and it didn't really stick that much, but it also does seem like it has a bit of a finish to it, so maybe after breaking it in, it'll grip a lot better. However, the only sure way to find out is to give these a performance test, so just wait and see for the performance review on the Zoom Freak 2s. Then for the cushion, this is actually the part where I see the most improvement between the Zoom Freak 2 and the Zoom Freak 1. Because on the Zoom Freak 1s, you only had a pretty dense Phylon midsole, then you only had a small rectangular zoom unit here in the heel. However, they did switch it up quite a bit with the Zoom Freak 2s. So for the Zoom Freak 2s, you have a much thicker foam midsole, and it does seem like it's a lot softer than your normal Phylon. So I'm not sure if it's injected Phylon or if they actually used Cushlon. Regardless of what foam they used, it was light years better than the foam they used on the Zoom Freak 1s, and it's just overall a very comfortable foam. And then instead of just having a small rectangular zoom unit in the heel, they decided to move the zoom to the forefoot, and it is a standard sized zoom airbag. They did core out some of the foam on the forefoot to give you a more zoomy feel. It's similar to how they do the unlocked zoom setups on the Jordans, except it's not fully exposed. So with that zoom in the forefoot and that very soft Phylon midsole, you have a pretty responsive and low to the ground feeling setup with good impact protection. I really enjoy cushion setups like this one because I normally am on my forefoot and midfoot, and I rarely use my heel. It kinda actually feels like how the PGs used to feel. So from the PGs 1 to 3, it had the forefoot zoom with the Phylon midsole, and I feel like this feels right in line with that. Then for the materials on the shoe, on the lateral side, you do have these rubbery plastic pieces that are there for containment and support. The Nike swoosh on the lateral side also serves as a support piece because it is made of synthetic leather, and is pretty heavily stitched over here. You also have more synthetic leather wrapping around the heel of the shoe. And then here on the medial side, you do have this black synthetic wing. This synthetic piece is there for support and greatly aids the lockdown as well, because this is where the laces attach to the medial side. Here on the toe, you also have this soft fuse that's there for toe drags. Then you have a nice and soft neoprene tongue, as well as inner lining. I really like the neoprene they used here because it really gives you a padded feeling around your Achilles. And here on the tongue, it allows you to really cinch down your laces. Then for the main part of the upper, it is this sort of canvasy mesh material, and it seems pretty robust and pretty thick. It definitely doesn't feel premium to the touch, but it is far and away better than the textile they used on the Greek Freak ones. It also does seem like it will be pretty durable, so that is always a plus. Then lastly, you have a little bit of neoprene here on the pull tab, as well as some synthetic leather here on the tongue patch, and some regular style laces. Then for fit and sizing, I did go true to size with the Zoom Freak 2s, and it fit me perfectly. In my standard size 10, it does pretty much fit me 1-to-1, and it is a little bit snug. It isn't uncomfortable by any means, but it is just snug enough for me to feel very comfortable and very secure inside the shoe. If you're the type of person that likes a little bit of a looser fit on their shoes, or you're someone with a wide foot, I'd recommend that you go up half a size. I really don't think that wide footers can go true to size with the shoe because you do have quite a bit of support pieces that really cage you in. You also have those rubbery plastic pieces here on the side. And I really think this would pinch your foot if you were a wide footer. Then for the aesthetic details on the shoe, here on the outsole you do have the names of Giannis and his brothers. So you do have Giannis, Kostas, Francis, Alex, and Thanasis. Then because this is a decoupled setup, you do have this exposed midsole foam. And here you have Charles and Veronica written, which are the names of Giannis' parents. You also have some Zoom Air branding here on the forefoot, as well as in the heel, which is kind of weird because there really is only Zoom Air in the forefoot. And normally what Nike does is they put the branding where the tech is. So it's kind of confusing why they put it here on the heel. Then here on the lateral side of the shoe, you do have that Giannis Antetokounmpo logo, as well as this black oversized Nike swoosh. You also have another Nike swoosh here on the medial side, but it is quite a bit smaller and it is stitched in with silver thread. You also have that black synthetic piece, as well as this bright green number 34. Then here at the back, you do have this sort of graffiti font Freak. And then here on the tongue, you have more Freak branding with Freak and the Nike swoosh. Then for the upper of the shoe, for that canvasy mesh material, you do have these leaves. Then here on the tongue, as well as the back part, you do have this sort of tribal pattern that's in green. And this is to commemorate Giannis' Nigerian background. Because even though Giannis was born and grew up in Greece and is a Greek citizen and plays for the Greek national team, his parents were originally from Nigeria. So this overall shoe is a really nice nod to Nigeria, and I really appreciate that. Then the last detail would be on the insole. So you have that Giannis Antetokounmpo logo, and then you also have I am my father's legacy, because unfortunately Giannis' father already passed away. So this is pretty much what Giannis always has in mind, to continue his father's legacy. Then for the overall aesthetics, I'm really not sure and I'm pretty torn on how to think of the shoe, because there are some angles where it kind of looks like a running shoe because of that whole slope design. And I really appreciate Giannis commemorating Nigeria with this shoe, but it is pretty wild because there is a lot of detail on the upper and you have multiple shades of green throughout the upper. In my opinion, it's pretty polarizing because yeah, it does kind of look cool, but I think in terms of aesthetics, I like the Zoom Freak ones more. And I'm not sure if any of you also feel this way from seeing these in pictures, but I kind of feel like it looks like the PG one. So I actually have a pair of PG ones here. So it kind of looks like the PG ones, but without the strap, because it has the same molding here at the heel. And it has that, you know, very sleek shape as well. But you know, that's just me, so please sound off in the comment section down below if you do see the similarities. The colorway and the shoe are definitely interesting, but in my opinion, I'm not really sure. Like, I'm definitely not gonna, you know, walk around casually with this, but maybe on the court I will like it. There are also other upcoming colorways that aren't as wild as this one, and I think those look a little bit better, but I'm not really sure either, because I'm not just on the fence with this particular colorway, but I'm on the fence with the overall aesthetic of the Zoom Freak 2s in general. However, I do enjoy the performance features that they put on the shoe, so I like the cushion, and I think that the support and the lockdown will be really good. So if these do perform very well on court, then the aesthetics don't really matter in my opinion. Then for the price, the Nike Zoom Freak 2 retails for 6,445 pesos or 120 US dollars. At that price point, it definitely is one of the cheaper signature models that you can get your hands on right now. And for what you're getting, I think it's pretty much par for the course for this price range. So only time will tell if this will perform better than the PG4s, the Kyrie 6s, or the upcoming Dawn issue number 2s. I was able to grab my pair when they released on the Nike Sneakers app. However, this colorway is pretty much available in all sizes on the Nike website, so I'll make sure to leave a link to that in the description box down below. Then we also have that black and white Nike Zoom Freak ones that are coming soon. So if you don't like a colorway that's this wild, you can definitely wait for the black and white ones. So there you have it, guys. That was my quick look and unboxing on the Nike Zoom Freak 2 Naija. If you liked the video, please make sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Then if you have any comments, questions, or any suggestions for any future videos, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below as well. Then also sound off in the comment section down below if you like the look of the Zoom Freak 2s more than the Zoom Freak 1s, or vice versa. Then if you haven't already yet, please make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon for notifications. It would help us out a lot here at Sneaks and Ball PH.